What's happening, sports fans? We continue our top recruit tour of San Diego. Our next stop is Cathedral Catholic for golfer Shane Ffrench. He's committed to play at USC. He is wearing a USC jacket. They're similar enough colors of red. I'm sure it's all going to go together. He'll weave the story for us about why he wound up there. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start there with your commitment to USC. Why the Trojans?
My whole family went there on my mom's side, so definitely have been bleeding Cardinal and gold since I was born. And I looked at some other schools out east, and I just wanted to stay close to home. And as soon as I stepped foot on my first visit with SC, it was like I could feel this place was home. So I picked it, and I can't wait to start in the fall.
It was a pretty simple decision, it sounds like, for you then.
Yeah, yeah.
Was there ever an application even sent to UCLA, or was that just
No, I didn't even step foot on campus.
didn't take a look at it, completely skipped
No.
that application in the UC system process?
Yep.
Very fair enough. Thoroughly appreciated as a UCLA alumni. No, but what is the decision like on the golf side though? For some, because golf is not something that I think everybody sort of understands the way they do football, basketball, baseball about the recruiting process. So, what goes into wanting to golf at a certain school versus another?
Oh man. Like it for golf, pretty much like you kind of stay where you're from. Texas kids go to Texas, and all the Southern kids go to SEC schools. And if you're from the West Coast, you typically end up at a Pac-12 school. Um, Usually, how it goes. Um, but I was fortunate enough. USC was kind of a perfect mix for me. I thought the program was really good and the school was really good. So that's what went into it for me.
What's the ultimate progression though? Educate us a little bit on how you kind of transition from amateur to pro in terms of the golf spectrum, because every other sport, you're going to get drafted. I'll go 1 year of college
Yeah,
basketball, then get drafted,
yeah.
something like that. So how quickly does that transition happen? Is it just a sudden thing at graduation? Do you slowly transition?
Usually you either stay 2 or 4 years. So you leave after sophomore year or you graduate typically, and then you go to Q school. It's like qualifying school for the tour, and you go try to play Q school to get on one tour that leads you to the PGA Tour. And so that's what everyone takes on the route to right after college or whenever they leave college.
Fair enough. So hopefully, in just a couple years, you will be our next Xander Schauffele or the latest guy coming out of the high school and the college scene from Southern California. For the high school scene, it's pretty much the Torrey Pines, and then you guys and another golfer here or there will come and go. We've seen moments at the finals where people have set course records. But kind of give us a little bit of a layout in terms of just how competitive that upper echelon here is.
Yeah, San Diego's got some incredible juniors, and it's definitely produced a lot of top recruits and a lot of good college players and a lot of good professionals, and especially Torrey Pines has got quite a few guys on tour, and Cathedral obviously before it was Cathedral had Phil Mickelson when it was uni, so there's a lot of good players, and especially even to this day, a lot of the best recruits come out of Southern California. So it's great to be competitive in high school before you get to college.
So potentially running back into the same old opponents over and over and over
Yeah,
again. James Song comes to mind from Torrey Pines, who's golfing
yeah,
at Cal now.
yeah,
Is there anybody that you're going to be teaming up with from San Diego at USC?
yeah. There's a bunch of guys. We got for the class of 2020, we got Crandon Nishiba. He went to Country Day, and then Jackson Rivera on Torrey Pines will be there in 2021. So quite a few guys on the team now there from San Diego too. So
It's
it'll be
funny
cool
how
to
you start to see these cycles happen in some of these sports. Baseball does a lot of it with Southern California kids staying in the
yeah.
Pac-12. Now you're starting to see it with other sports where, you keep running into that guy. Do you like playing the same competition over and over again? Or are there times where you're just like, man, I would like a whole new field of entirely fresh golfers? Or does that not even really matter in golf?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but it's nice to know the guys you're playing against, because at the end of the day, you're spending 4 or 5 hours with them, and if I've known a guy since we were 10, 11, 12, since we were in high school, typically gonna get along pretty well. It makes it a little more fun.
Does the trash talking happen in golf? Is that it? What is the
Uh,
is it a look thing? It is a subtle little wink and how does one even get that involved in a golf game?
it doesn't in high school golf it kind of does, but when we're playing, tournaments outside of it's none of that. Unfortunately, it's kind of looked down upon, but yeah, there's others, like there's certain guys that I'll hate to lose to more than other guys, but I won't. We're not saying anything
Would
to
you
each other's faces.
advocate for including, trash talking or a fan section or some sort of that kind of element to golf?
Yeah, I think it might make it more interesting, to be honest. Like, I think it'd be fun.
And you could putt through a roaring crowd with, the clapping thunder sticks and whatever?
I guess I'd have to learn how to. It's different, it's all silent now.
Yeah, so let's maybe we can somehow put that to the test. Do you have any sort of a putting green or some sort of surface in your house or backyard that we can, maybe you put on some big headphones and you can test your putting accurate? Look, we're all bored and starved for sports entertainment.
Yeah.
We need some help here.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything here, but
Well,
I'll have to find somewhere.
how do you keep golf in your life? I mean, just practicing swings. How do you get golf in still?
Yeah, right now, I mean, there's nothing to do. I mean, I go out in my backyard and make swings, but I'm just kind of using this as my downtime. I haven't taken a break this long from golf in a while, so I'm just kind of using it to just recharge.
Okay, fair enough. So then, what are you doing? Are you a Netflix binger? Do you play video games? How do you spending your downtime?
Yeah, I've been watching some TV and sleeping a lot.
Yeah, I was just starting to get a little running question going of are you still waking up early, making breakfast, doing the whole routine, or are you sleeping in until about
Oh
20 minutes
no,
before class starts and then
no, I slept until like 11:30 today.
nice, very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's good to catch up on some sleep.
everyone's getting kind of early training on college. Of
Yeah,
classes are a little bit later, sleep in, and then go. Whoa, dang! I got to hurry up and get to class.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I'm trying to find the one person who is still getting up at 7 a.m. and making breakfast and doing the routine and annoying their whole family. What are you watching on television? Give us some recommendations.
I'm watching a show called Billions.
Okay, just making it through that for the first time.
Yeah, I had one of my friends recommended it to me a couple weeks ago, and I've I think I'm on end of season 3, and they're long episodes, so I've watched quite a bit of it, but it's pretty good.
Well, that seems to
I
be the
like it a
key is
lot.
finding something that has long episodes and or a
Yeah,
lot of seasons of
yeah,
it, so you
exactly.
can
Yeah,
watch a ton of it, even if it's just mediocre. I have heard
yeah,
I made it through the first season, but that was about it for me on Billions. So
yeah,
maybe I'll have to catch up to you on that one.
yeah. It's good. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it gets me through the day.
Gets
Takes
me
a lot of
it
time
gets me
out.
through. I think that's where a lot of people might be at right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Trying to figure out what to do our days.
you know, kind of a heavy question, but what are the emotions right now for a high school senior? What's going through your mind with sports, school, prom, everything kind of gone up in the air? How does someone handle this? What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really bummed. I'm trying not to think too much of it. Just try to get ready for college, but it is kind of a bummer that all this is happening. But there's nothing we can do about it. We're all in the same boat, and glad they were young. If we were older, I wouldn't want to be losing this time out of my life. But we got so much time ahead of us. I'm just trying to look forward to that.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing that. I think everyone right now has different takes on it, different opinions, so it's always good to get some more feedback and input on that. I always like to close out with what are you going to miss about Cathedral, about golf, about high school, about any of that? What maybe would be a message to your teammates or your fellow students?
Uh, I think it'd be more fun, less stressful. When you get to college, everything starts to matter more. So right now, just appreciate it and have fun.
Appreciate, have fun, and then get good at golf when this is all
Yeah.
done because you're all recharged. Shane, thank you
Yep.
so much for being on with us.
Thanks for having
Folks,
me.
there are a ton of high school seniors right now that need your positive thoughts and your well wishes. And this is one that seems admittedly more optimistic and globally thinking than others, but look, they all had their seasons ended. They're all kind of in this weird nether that no one else has gone through. So send them a positive, vibe, send them a text, send them a DM, whatever. Let them know you're thinking about them. Shane, we will be thinking about you for the rest of this season and on next year's. You're represented San Diego in the Pac-12 for golf. Thank you so much for being on with us. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.